Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to a new game, a new campaign on the channel. Well, it's not a completely new game. It's actually the first game I ever wanted to start this channel with, back when a whole long story, but basically this is the second um, channel I've had called Conquering History Games. I had to delete it and then restart it. But we're gonna be playing one of my favorite games ever. I guess I'm feeling nostalgic for it because next week is gonna be the birthday of the channel, October 25th. And so what we're gonna be playing is Medieval 2 Total War, one of the great history games of all time. Hope everybody is doing good. Hello there, those of you who've already arrived. And two people already left. I'm out. Alright, so... Medieval 2 Total War is one of my favorite games of all time. It's not the first ever history series I played, that being Total War, but it was almost. It was one of the early ones. And I've tried to sometimes get some stuff with Medieval 2 going on the channel before, but it hasn't really worked out. So what we're going to instead be doing is I'm going to be doing a live stream series of it, which I think is, we can all hang out in here and chill out and have fun. We'll kind of get a little bit more activity around it, and in the future, when I could do some pre-recorded Total War stuff. So, of course, the first question is, who am I going to play as? Now, I thought that I had done a Spain campaign on the channel before, but apparently I hadn't. This is a false memory or something. But in terms of the medieval world, there is perhaps no country that in the Western world, the Western medieval world, that I find more interesting than that of Spain, who we're going to be playing as in the grand campaign. So I thought I would begin things here with a couple of readings from so actually I've got Spain is probably the single country besides the United States where I was born and raised is the country I have the most literature of. Yeah, it has to actually be an entirely... I've been reorganizing my bookshelves recently, and I've had to turn it into its own separate section away from my main bookshelf because there's just too much of it. So I thought I would do a couple readings here from my book, A History of Medieval Spain by Joseph F. O'Callaghan. This book was given to me by an in-real-life friend. So, this is... This was written by Alfonso X, Primera Crónica General, page 558. I could read it in the Spanish, España sobre todo es, but I'll say it in English. More than all other lands, Spain. So this is the king. King Alfonso X is saying this. More than all other lands, Spain is shrewd, bold, and vigorous in struggle, nimble in action, loyal to her lord, eager for study, courtly in speech, filled with every good thing. Spain is set above all other lands in greatness, and is more precious than all for loyalty. O Spain, there is neither tongue nor talent that can recount your worth. Hello there, Franchan, who says, good luck, CHG. Medieval 2 is a classic. This will be fun. Love how different each faction is. Good replay value. Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, we're going to be playing as Spain, which I thought about maybe not doing and saving that for in the future if people end up really liking this. Because Spain has very long legs in Medieval 2. It stays fresh and interesting constantly. For example, if we look here at their strengths, they have excellent naval units, light infantry, and cavalry. Of course, these strengths and weaknesses aren't always perfect, but then the weakness is that they lack heavy infantry and spears in early period, which is basically saying, well, if you can get out of the early period with Spain, you're in a really, really great position. So, let's talk about what settings I'm going to be doing here. So, we're going to be setting it as short campaign rules, but we might switch it over to long later. If people end up really liking the series, I would like to switch it over to long. So you know, if we go long, we could do some crusades. We could eventually discover the New World, which is super fun. We'll deal with the Mongol invasions and stuff. Yeah, and here comes Porky. And I'm not gonna get mad at you, Porky, for it, or anybody for it, really. Yeah, you know, it should be called the Kingdom of Leon Castile. It's not a perfect system, but it's a very fun game, and that's what matters. Anyway, so we're gonna be doing the short campaign rules where we got to hold 15 regions. So that would basically be that we'd hold Iberia, and we'll probably go a little bit into France and North Africa. We have to destroy the Moors and the Portuguese. So the long campaign rules are we got to have 45, and we got to have Granada, because that was the last bit of Spain to fall, and Jerusalem. So of course that's a very, very big chunk of the world. But yeah, we're going to be doing that. Now, in terms of difficulty, I know this is what everybody is interested in, so I've told this story before, so some of you might know it. I used to play Total War games on the hardest difficulties until I had this incident when I was playing Rome Total War. Long story short, I was playing the Greeks and I was playing the Macedonians, and I was one of my cities was under siege by a force that greatly outnumbered them, and I had an army that was there to relieve it, but I didn't think they were gonna all get there in time to relieve the siege. So I ended up sending my cavalry ahead so they could border the city. Sure enough, the city gets attacked. And so I think it was the Romans. Yeah, the Roman infantry is attacking the city. They're getting into the city, but their general, who's this campaign better include Conquest of the New World. That's the hope, Franchan. That's the hope. I hope people enjoy it enough that we can go that far. But the so anyway, I send my cavalry forward. The Roman general is totally isolated, and I've got like 8 units of cavalry. They're surrounding him. They're chopping him to bits. And then it's down to him and like 2 bodyguards, and my units, which are like hundreds of cavalry, get scared and run away. And that's when I decided I was never going to play the hardest difficulties of Total War games anymore. I'd only go up to the second hardest because I want to play the game. I don't want the game playing me. So we're just gonna go to hard difficulty. I don't know, maybe we'll see how I'm feeling in the future. Maybe I will try to do the very hard thing again. So we're gonna also have battle time limits. It's never happened since I've had the Steam version of the game, but back in the day, Medieval 2 did used to sometimes have these glitches where, for example, you might be the defender of the city and you've destroyed all their infantry and their cavalry have no way to get inside, but the game doesn't consider it over. So then you have to quit the battle, and then you lose the city even though you won the siege. So I've put time limits on. The time limits are like an hour. Have I played the Third Age mod for this? Oh yeah, it's excellent. Anyway, I'd like to do that in the future, maybe. So how about we just jump into it? I think I've been talking quite enough. We'll watch the intro video, of course, and then I'll do a little bit more reading. Just a bit. Let's go. Good to see you, J-Dog. Of course, these intro movies are always great. The Rome Total War ones are probably the best. This is good divided. Too.
Enduring the conquest of the Moors for many centuries has left a bitter taste with her people, who fight for liberation in the name of God and King. The Reconquista is fought daily. Years of mistrust and infighting has left Spain directionless. Unfortunately, the Moorish occupation of the Iberian Peninsula is still not enough to unite rival nobles. In times as dark and seemingly hopeless as these, the survival of the Spanish rests solely on the shoulders of those willing to go above and beyond the call of duty. Heroes must rise so that Spain can be free and united once more.
Okay. So I'm seeing some questions. William Brothers saying, "How you been, CHG?" I've been doing good. I've been doing good. My wallet took a punch recently, but this next week or today included is going to be very, very good. So a lot of fun stuff for me personally and for the channel, hopefully, coming in the next week. And then French Chen's asking, which expansion pack is your favorite? Is why? Mine would probably be the Americas one because how different it is from the main game. Oh gosh, that's so tough because they're all great in their own ways. They really feel different from each other. Probably the one I used to play the most was the Britannia one, where there's like Wales and Norway and Ireland and Scotland and England, and then the Civil War happens and stuff. I used to play a lot up there because I liked a lot of the units, but the Teutonic campaign was so brutally hard. It felt like no matter who you were playing, it was very hard, and it was just what a sludge, but in a good way. The Crusades is very fun. Just probably some of the best. I don't know. It just felt like you really were dipped into the wars there. I used to really like playing Antioch. I remember I would like to do an Antioch campaign sometime, and like I remember I was doing this campaign though where I was doing really, really well, and then I had an army get caught out in the desert, and the AI played it pretty smart. You know, the AI is sometimes smarter than people like to pretend it is. Basically, they surrounded me with 3 armies. The Turks did, and just like in the middle of nowhere in the desert. I think I was trying to go take Baghdad. And yeah, it was just like the real Crusades. It was like straight out of Horns of Hattin. They just had me completely surrounded and fucked me up with their horse archers and exhausted all my troops in the sun, and I just lost basically everybody. It was horrible, and that was on a really good campaign I was doing. Of course, the Americas one is fun. I love when those kind of surprise things happen too, like when the French and the English show up when you're still fighting the Aztecs or stuff like that. Anyway, so we are Spain and Leon and Castile and Galicia and Portugal's not around. Like, guys, let's all take a deep breath. So of course our short-term goal here is going to be that we need to unite the peninsula, and so I think the key to that is going to be that we have to destroy Portugal very quickly because we have the Moors, you know, the Umayyads to our south, who are of course an existential threat, but nobody's going to give a shit about me attacking them. The Pope's not going to get pissed about that. So but the Pope's going to get upset about us fighting Portugal. Now, Portugal does start with 2 territories, not 1, so that means it's trickier to just take them out instantly. But on the other hand, but it's also hard because they're separated from one another, so I got to kind of figure out which direction I'm going to go in here. But I have to do this early because if they start taking rebel settlements, or even worse, they expand beyond the Iberian Peninsula. Like if they come up, you know, from what I remember, the AI tended to like to want to come over here into France kind of quickly, and then they're going to be spread out, and it's going to be like impossible to take them out without the Pope excommunicating me. So, so we want to do that, and once we do that, the only Catholic nation that's near us. Because for those of you who don't know the game mechanics, you get excommunicated if you're a Catholic nation and you go to war with another Catholic nation. And once you're excommunicated, the Pope's basically telling the whole world, hey, kill these people and I won't give a shit. So it's a very bad position to be in. It's not an impossible one to get out of, but I'd rather not do that. A Reynald run in CK2. That sounds pretty cool. So yeah, after we do that, France will be the only Catholic nation that's nearby, which we can kind of fight almost at our leisure. Meanwhile, we'll have a lot of areas out here in Africa that we could expand into. Like Timbuktu is down here in the south. And like if you could take that, it's supposed to be worth a lot of money, but it's very difficult to find. I think it takes over 5 turns. It might be as much as 8 turns. But like even if you know exactly where you're going, walking through the Sahara is extremely difficult. And takes a long time, of course. And it's a lot of investment for one city, basically. Now I have not played this game in a long time. So another thing I'm going to be doing is probably using save files sometimes. You might, and that's because I might remember, oh wait, that's how I'm supposed to do something, so I'll reload and do it correctly or whatever. I'm not going to try to save scum too hard, but just kind of bear with me that it's been a little while. So we got our princess here. I think we're just going to use her as a spy, and I'm trying to remember exactly actually where everybody is. So we got another Spanish princess up here. Try to find Navarra. I'm gonna be totally fine with us losing some money early because we need to we just gotta take these nations out very quickly. It's critically important. Yeah, we don't even start with a port or roads. Awful. Terrible. At least Leon has a port. Yeah, somebody was saying, I could put my fleet somewhere and kind of screw that up, but we're not gonna do that just yet. Yaxaman says, what game is this? This is Medieval 2 Total War. So what I want to do here is, we got Vasco here. Yeah, going for Valencia early could be fun. El Cid is actually here if you could manage to bribe him over, but I think he's prohibitively expensive. So what I just want to do before we really get started here is I'm going to do one more reading, and this one's going to be a bit longer, from A History of Medieval Spain by Joseph F. O'Callaghan. Let me just find the page. This is just okay, this is going to be like 2.5 pages. Actually, no, it's going to be a bit more, I think. Wait. I want to read this part. No, I think this is actually not the section I want to read. Okay, I'll skip this part. Okay, yeah, this is going to be about 2.5 pages I'll read. And could somebody explain accent men for me while I read this, or I could do it afterwards, but... Okay, so... Let's talk about the history of medieval Spain, and this kind of really sums up a lot, but not all of what I find so interesting about this period. Let me get some water. Reflecting upon the history of medieval Spain, one can perceive as the recurrent theme the persistence with which men strove to unify the peninsula. The task was fraught with difficulties arising not only from the internal physical characteristics of the country, but also from the diversity of peoples within its borders. The Romans first established a uniform authority over the peninsula in the 1st century before Christ. By incorporating Spain into their empire, they gave it a cultural foundation that subsisted in large measure through the vicissitudes of later centuries. The Germanic tribes who crossed the Pyrenees in the 5th century AD disrupted the imperial administration, and 2 centuries elapsed before the Visigoths were able to extend their rule over the entire peninsula. The course of peninsular history during that time was comparable to that of the other barbarian kingdoms of Western Europe, but to a greater degree than elsewhere, the Visigoths bowed to the superior civilization of Rome and adopted as their own the Latin language, the Orthodox Christian religion, and much of the substance of Roman law. In the 8th century, Muslim conquerors, Arabs and Berbers, destroyed the unity of the Visigothic kingdom and interjected new religious and cultural elements into peninsular life. From that point, the history of medieval Spain took on a unique character that distinguished it from the other Western European states. Muslim influence upon Hispanic civilization was profound and is attested even today by architectural remains The presence of numerous Arabic words in the Hispanic languages, and more subtly by patterns of thought and behavior. But Spain was not Orientalized, Arabized, Islamized, or Africanized. The links with the past were not obliterated, nor did Muslim influence overwhelm or wholly displace the Roman, Germanic, and Christian contributions to peninsular development. As a bridge between Europe and Africa, between West and East, between the worlds of Christianity and Islam, Spain experienced in the medieval centuries a continual tension created by the shifting balance of religious and cultural influences. In the end, the balance was tipped decisively in favor of the Christian and Western European world. I'm going to skip a bunch right here, but basically, Muslim failure to occupy permanently the regions of the far northwest and northeast gave the Christian population an opportunity to establish an independent basis from which to initiate the long and arduous task of reconquering the land they believed to be rightfully theirs. I'm going to skip a bunch here. Throughout the long centuries, the reconquest was the common purpose and cohesive principle of the Christian states. The reconquest may be described as a holy war in the sense that it was a conflict prompted by religious hostility, but it was something more than that. For proclaiming oneself a Christian, a Muslim, or a Jew, one espoused specific religious doctrines and also accepted a whole system of cultural values that affected one's daily life, one's habits, traditions, laws, and even language. The difficulty, if not the impossibility, of reconciling or assimilating these different religious and cultural points of view was at the root of the struggle. Both sides came to recognize that it could only end with the complete triumph of one over the other. It is one of the ironies of history that in Spain, a land widely known in modern times for religious intolerance, Christians, Muslims, and Jews often lived peacefully with one another in the medieval centuries. Religious minorities in general were tolerated in both Christian and Muslim kingdoms. This does not mean that they were loved or revered, but simply that they were permitted to exist and within certain limits to practice their religion and to be governed by their own laws and by their own judges. Periods of tolerance alternated, however, with persecution, and as the Middle Ages drew to a close, the trend toward persecution grew stronger. This was partly a natural consequence of the successful progress of the Reconquest, which had reduced Muslim territory to the small kingdom of Granada. But the generally unsettled political and economic conditions prevailing in the late 14th and 15th centuries also stirred resentment against the Jews. Thus, when Ferdinand and Isabella completed the Reconquest in 1492, they decided that religious diversity was no longer acceptable. They expelled the Jews and began efforts to convert the Muslims who remained in the peninsula. Even though the Muslims accepted Christianity, at least outwardly, they were never wholly trusted and were expelled finally in the 17th century. Religious uniformity and intolerance were thus consecrated as public policy. And so then that starts getting a little bit out. To Pen Kitten 82's like, expelling Muslims is based. Alright, good to see you, Pen Kitten. Alright, now, so that's a little bit of the things that I find so interesting about medieval Spain. So now we're gonna go try to, I guess, peek at where Granada is exactly. I think that like Cordoba is right here, which is of course a really great city to grab, and I think Granada is right here. Like I said, it has been quite a while actually since I last played this. So what I think we're gonna do with Vasco here is we want to start sending him to deal with the Portuguese. Maybe a watchtower wouldn't be a bad idea. No, never mind. Oh yeah, crossbows. Yeah, we're basically just gonna be fucking bankrupting ourselves right here. Because yeah, we gotta go in early and like I said, take out the Portuguese. It is the linchpin to all of this, basically. And then I think what we'll do is we're gonna send these cavalry up here to Navarra. We're gonna send out, yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's go. So, we've been tasked with taking Valencia. If we do that, we'll be rewarded with some of the best units available, which I think is going to be mailed knights. As you can see, we're already broke as a joke. So, we're trying to find where exactly they are. Okay, yeah, I guess nobody's going to explain it to Accent Man. Okay, so for those of you who don't know the game, how Total War games work for the most part, is there's two parts of the game. There's this part here where you see the map of the world, the overland, or the overhead map. And you can move your armies around it. and your spies and your princesses. What's the difference? Am I right? Etc. 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 There's Cordoba. Oh, it would be so easy to take two, but no, we gotta focus on the Portuguese. Having said that, I think it might be. Oh, that's right. I can't build watchtowers in enemy territory. The expulsion of the Muslims in the 17th century was more about the fear of an Ottoman/North African invasion. No, it had been. That might have been the immediate catalyst, but that had been brewing for an extremely long time. You know, and usually I know there's a lot of times where I go, you know, I'm not an expert on this side. I feel actually a little bit confident saying I am in fact an expert in Spanish history. I'm going to go ahead and say that. So the fear of the inside enemy might have been the immediate thing, but like the discrimination against Muslims had been going on for centuries. You know, the whole thing with the Moriscos and whatnot. Anyway, let's start moving our forces this way, and hopefully my cavalry can link up with Rodrigo here. Okay, excellent. Okay. So then what happens, Accent Man, is when two armies meet on the field, it then zooms in on it and it changes to a different section of the map. So you probably are familiar with more recent games like Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, I think it's called, and things like that, where you fight with the armies on the actual map and you can move around in formation and things like that. So that is the other part of the game. There's some people who like one section more, they like the other section more. Both of them have their strengths and weaknesses. But in any case, the battles I think are going to be quite fun. I usually don't like open field battles actually, but I do enjoy sieges quite a lot. All right. Okay, so we are now officially in debt, which is that's going to cause problems down the line, but we are going to find a way to live with it. Now, I am still trying to find where the freak is. There he is. Pamplona. So we want to make our way over here. Now, we got to time it right because where are they? There's the faction heir. Oh my gosh, they've already got crossbows. Crossbows, especially early game, are deadly as fuck. So we gotta be careful about it. Oh shit, I wasn't able to get him. I'm not sure if he's gonna. Actually, no, they will be able to do it. If this battle's anything else, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see here. So we could next turn be sieging Pamplona, but what we want to do with Vasco here is we want to make sure that we're besieging Pamplona and Lisbon at the same time. So the Moors want to talk with me, and you know what? I'd be down for just about anything right now. They want trade rights? Okay. Here's what I like to do. This is a personal play. I like to offer map information to the AI to get quick money. So this is like a diplomacy screen. Our relationships with one another is not very good, so we're gonna say we're gonna get trade rights, which is good for money. So I'm gonna say, look, I'll let you look at everything I own, but you got to give me 2,000 florins in return. They're gonna probably counteroffer. No, wow, not even a counteroffer. They're just saying fuck you. 2,000 was probably way too much. See, this is generous. Okay, cool. Thanks for the money. So the goal is to conquer everything and to be a spy, or be an empire or something. Yeah, pretty much. You want to expand. We're doing the short-term goals right now. This fucking asshole's in our way. What we're wanting to do right now is we got to take 15 regions, so 15 cities, although they're not all cities. Like this is a city, this is a castle. You want to take you want to take 15 of these and also have destroyed the Moors and the Portuguese. That's the current goal. We could probably take Zaragoza here while we wait, because this is going to take me... No, we got to go this way. Yeah, Spain is really broken up and difficult to maneuver around in sometimes. Oh shoot, I haven't been moving my cardinal. So let's start moving him down here. So there's different elements of the games, and I'll talk about them. Like people could, it would probably be easier if people want to know something if they just ask me questions. But I'll probably also talk about some of the stuff like right now. So there's like actually some complex interactions at times. So for example, I was just right now looking at my cardinal. So right now, for example, in Toledo, where my king lives, I should have actually sent him out. Fuck me. But anyway, this area is 66% Catholic, which is doing good things for the public order. But there are pagan, heretical, and Islamic influences here. So that hurts my public order by 10%, but the garrison is really helping things. There's good law, we have governor influence and such. So not a whole lot that we have to worry about. I think we might send Alfonso up north. Catch up with the rest of the army here. With Prince Rodrigo. So you see, we almost balanced the budget. Portugal wants trade rights, and once again... Wait, no! Fuck me! I messed that up. So... yeah, so we have the trade rights, and yeah, give me the money that I'm gonna kill you with. The offer. No, yeah, without the trade right kicker, I don't think we're gonna get much from them. Fuck me. No, now they're not interested. We can't even negotiate with them anymore. I messed that up. So, as you can see, the rust is actively being shaken. Oh, they completely fucked up. So they've got an army down here, a fairly sizable one. I guess that they're trying to make a play for Cordoba, but they only left their king in Lisbon, so that's just going to be the easiest siege ever. We're not even going to play that one out. So I know that there's some people who they don't have they don't like to auto-resolve battles, and auto-resolving battles is not optimal. The AI is usually not going to be as good as you are. But if it's something like this, like look at this. I've got a general, I've got archers, I've got spears and crossbowmen and knights, and they're gonna take out, you know, King Enrique and his 59 bodyguards. That's not a battle worth watching. It's gonna bore you guys. So we're just gonna move on from it. So, have I checked out the 1212 AD mod for Attila? No, I have not. You know what? Actually, I think I have actually seen, I might have seen, a battle like somebody did, once. Okay, so I think next turn we're gonna attack the Portuguese. And remember, the goal is we gotta take them out in like a turn or two, because the Pope will give a warning first. He'll say, hey, you need to stop this right now, or you're going to get excommunicated. So, you know, you want to be quick about it. So this northern fight looks like it's going to definitely be harder. But once again, I think a critical mistake has been made by the AI, where they've left a general and a cavalry unit. Cavalry's not that great inside of a castle. So, and most of their army is on the outside, although it's a decent enough army. Those crossbows would actually probably end up being pretty painful if I couldn't take them out with my own cavalry quickly. So, let's see. Portugal push. Here we go. We're going to officially declare the war by attacking Lisbon. If you kill the king and the prince and the army nearby, they'll switch to rebels. Yes, I know. And that's actually one of my... yeah, one of the things I love to do when I'm playing the Byzantines is I like to kill the Turks quickly. I think I could do it by the 5th turn. But you basically... So the Turks, it's hard to destroy the entire faction in a literal sense, like take all their territories, because they have some in the Far East. But their royal family is in Asia Minor here. So I used to, and I probably have to go like review my old footage of it and shake the rust off, but I used to just blitz the cities they had here, and I would destroy their Turkish royal family, and then everything becomes rebel territory. So and a lot of it is empty land out here at the beginning of the game, meaning that there's no official faction vying for it. So you either don't have to worry about aggression from this direction because the rebels aren't going to attack you, or you could go out and take a bunch of not quite free but relatively easy to get stuff. Anyway, yeah, let's start this. I think what I might want to do is move here. Can I attack this? I might be able to do a little sneaky right now. Okay, so let's see. I wish the Byzantines had a viable late game roster. I feel like the devs didn't expect you to get that far. Yeah, they kind of made up. I think that's why they put a lot more of them into it with the when you play them in the expansions, because they fixed the two-handed weapon glitch in the expansions, and you also get the flamethrowers, which is badass. So when you lay siege to a city, you can't, if it's got a wall that's not already been broken, you have to siege them down. But your army has certain amounts of build points. So because we have a lot of infantry here, we have 180 build points. So we could do things like build 2 rams. I always like to have a backup ram. You could build ladders, which are very cheap, but it's not ideal for climbing walls. Siege towers are kind of generally better, but they could be there. But you can catch them on fire pretty easily. Yeah, so I'm just building stuff. It doesn't really matter because we're just going to auto resolve this. And I'm hoping that the army they have down here is too far away. So the relations with Portugal have just gotten worse. Now, I was thinking we could maybe... Now, if I wanted to, I could do like a sneaky, dirty move here with Pamplona. I could attack the captain army out here, and then because the castle is right there, because you're going to see once we start our first battle, basically a square will form around the two fighting armies. And other armies that are within that square can send reinforcements. So if I started a battle with the captain here, this is called a draw out. Actually, this is not technically a draw out. There's other ways to do a draw out. But you do this play where you force the garrison to come out and you fight them in the field. And if you can manage to destroy them, like you got to manage to surround them, then Pamplona here would be empty. And you could then just walk into it, because you destroyed the army that was inside. So that's like a tricky play you could do. But we're not going to do that play right now. I'm sure I'll do that play in the future. Don't worry too much about it. Okay. So they might attack me, that captain. I kind of hope he does, actually. Apparently not. So there's been an alliance announced between the Moors and the Portuguese. Okay. So obviously the Portuguese are not true Christians. They're not true Catholics. That has just been verified forever. But having said that, that is actually very historically accurate, because even though some people like to paint the Reconquista as this event where it's all the Christians fighting all the Muslims, because the Muslims and the Christians neither of them were ever all fully unified for long during the hundreds of years that the Reconquista happened. But it was very, very realpolitik, where Christian kings would be happy to enlist the help of Muslims against their fellow Christians, and Muslims would be more than happy to use Christian warriors to fight other Muslims. So it's yeah, this alliance that the Portuguese and the Moors have just entered is I feel very accurate. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of move around with our cardinals here.
I can go no further today.
The deck's communication rules are actually very well done. Like the Pope says, don't attack, but you can still do defensive attacks, like you'd attack the enemy if they enter your land, no problem. Yeah, so what we're going to see here, I'm going to call this Pope testing save, is, let's say we take Lisbon here. Well, we're going to take Lisbon right now, because I guess their army down here wasn't close enough, or they probably kept moving, so they might be like somewhere over here about to take Cordoba or something, and so that's why they couldn't come and help at Lisbon. Triste, yeah. So like, the Pope does not always give the warning at the end of the turn. So right now we're gonna take Lisbon. So we're gonna say assault. So So yeah, this is the balance of power. Strength ratio is 5-2. It's actually much worse than this. So we could probably take this with virtually no casualties, but we're just going to automatically resolve it, just because again that would be a really boring fight to see. So we're just going to move in. We've taken Lisbon, which is very good. And now the Pope is probably going to get pissed at us. Now we could sack the town. So whenever you take a town, with rare exception, there's always these three options available to you. You could just occupy it, where you're going to get a little bit of money. You could sack the settlement, where you'll get a lot of money, and you'll also kill some of the population. And you can also exterminate the population, where you don't get as much money, but you kill a lot of freaking people. There's benefits to all three. Don't forget your watchtowers. We're not going to need watchtowers in the peninsula, because we're going to take it all pretty quick, I think. But yeah, watchtowers are very useful. Actually, in the expansions, even more so. Watchtowers can be incredibly important in certain areas of the game, geographically speaking. But anyway, so there's perks to all three of them. So, for example, if you exterminate the population is not going to like that. On the other hand, there's less of them to rebel. And that's usually, I guess we should start from there. That's usually why you might want to exterminate a population. It's if, let's say you're on a crusade. You're a Catholic nation, and you are like deep in the heart of the Levant, and you take some really large population Muslim town. Well, once you take that town, they're gonna be upset because the ruling nations like, as a Catholic, they're Muslim. It's not going to it's not going to show. It's like they're going to be pissed at you. It's going to hurt public order, which could lead to riots. And when riots, and if the riots are get bad enough, cities could actually turn rebel on you. So sacking is also very good if you want money. Like right now, I'm 2,271 in debt. So sacking this settlement might not be the worst idea I've ever had. It's gonna destroy kill 1,000 of them, but I'm gonna get 4,636. There's a lot of money in there. It's the capital of a nation. But you can also just occupy the settlement, so there's not going to be damage done to the buildings. You're going to still have a lot of the population. So, like, if you want to grow the town more, because of course as the town grows, you're going to get access to more things. So like maybe if you're attacking, maybe because you have different levels of cities, right? So I think it goes that there's 5 levels. I think it's small town. Actually, I might be able to check right here. Hold on. No, I can't check right now. I'll check in a minute. But I think it's that there's small town, large town, minor city, large city, huge city. So let's say you took something that was already a large city, and it's about to become a huge city, which is going to give you access to a lot of great stuff. You maybe don't want to sack or exterminate that place, even if it's something that's going to have unrest, because it's going to be worth the upgrade to the city you're about to get. So what I think we're going to do, because Lisbon is the furthest west city we're going to have, and as such, because it's on the ocean, it's going to be the furthest away from conflict. We're not really, it's going to be very difficult for armies to get to it and attack it, and simultaneously it's going to be very hard for anything I build here, like an army, to get east. It's not going to be very practical in terms of, I don't need it to be running completely functionally right now or even later. So we're just going to sack it to get that quick cash infusion. So we lost 1,000 population there. So the population of the city, I guess beforehand, it was like 1,000 and change. Let's just call it 1,000. So the population before we just did that sack, which is weird. I don't know why we didn't. There's supposed to be like noises that actually happen when you do that. Like like they're all screaming because they're dying. Or maybe that's what they exterminate. But anyway, so there was about 4.3 thousand people in this town, and we need 6,000 to upgrade the settlement. So let's talk about what that entails. Like, why do I care about upgrading the settlement? Yeah, here we go. It goes village, town, minor city, large city. Oh, okay, I thought there was huge city. Oh no, huge city was in Rome. Rome Total War. Uh anyway, the more that you upgrade things, the better stuff that you could get. So for example, if we went to barracks, right? This is a large town right now. So if you build a barracks to build infantry, you could build 4 spear militias or 6 town militias. Now basically, this is something I think is very interesting. You're only allowed to build a certain amount in the whole world based on how much of something you have. So like, even as you, I thought this was a really cool mechanic. So like, let's say if you later upgrade to better infantry, let's look at maybe like a castle version of that, of the barracks. Like if you got to where you had a, oh wait, the fuck? Okay, here we go. So like with castles and their archery ranges, let's say you have a regular castle, you build a practice range, you're going to be able to build 6 peasant crossbowmen. Crossbowmen are really good. Archers have their place too, but crossbowmen are broadly considered to be as a general rule, or considered to be better units than archers, because they're most prominently because they pierce armor. So let's say you get the peasant archers, pretty good. But then you upgrade one of your areas to a fortress, and then you can build the archer range there. Then you get access to Pavasi crossbowmen, who are going to be better because they have their Pavasi shield, and they're also going to be a little bit armored. But you're still only able to make so many of them comparatively. So it's not like you could build the range in one area and everywhere everything just gets an instant upgrade like you're playing in Civ, like in the older games where you could play of Civilization, where when you would upgrade something, every unit you had would upgrade all over the map. Is it a max worldwide, or is it max in the pool that you could recruit? I could be wrong. There's so many hidden mechanics in these Total War games that people find out later and later. Like, I forgot to actually say, somebody said, who was it? Oh yeah, Burning Paladin. You're the one who brought it up. Yeah. So what you just told me about, if you stand on an enemy watchtower, you can see through it instead of the enemy. I never knew about that mechanic. That is a first for me. And I've played this game for years and years and years. Admittedly, I haven't for a while, but it seems like there's always new mechanics. They put so much work and love into these games. But then people are just saying, "Where's the Kingdom of Navarra?" It's like, you're not seeing the big picture. It's not finding diamonds in a pig trough. You guys are finding the speck of dust on the diamond. Anyway. And then I shouldn't say you guys. It's kind of like the community as a whole sometimes is like that. Anyway. So what we're going to do now is we are going to attack Pamplona. Where did the other army go? Huh. So we're going to do the assault here. This is going to be a pretty easy fight. Do I want to show it to you? No, there'll be plenty of time for other fights later. So we're just going to do an auto. Yeah, we lost 62 men. If I didn't auto-resolve that, that wouldn't have happened. So that's it. The Portuguese are dead now. Pamplona is a castle. I like castles. I like upgrading them as quickly as possible because, especially when I'm playing a Catholic nation, well, really any nation, but basically castles give you access to some really, really good units. So we're just going to occupy it. We're not going to sack or anything like that. So a lot of things just happened there. As you can see, the alerts on the left have piled up. Oh, I just realized that my face is covering the... why didn't nobody say anything? My face is covering the mini-map. Move me up there. Much better. Also zoom in. We don't have to really see the rest of the world right now. Not for a long time. Excuse me. Oh, the guilds. Yeah, I hardly ever mess with the guilds. They're just frustrating and annoying. They could be so good. Like, you can get some crazy powers and economic buffs when you use the guilds right, or like upgrades to your army, but they're just such a pain. Have I ever played Nostalgia? No, but I plan to. Okay, so let's go through all these alerts that just happened. Traits. The Merciless, this happened to King Alfonso, so he was the one who was leading the assault on Pamplona. Merciless actions on the battlefield have increased this man's aura of dread. So what does that mean? Let's actually go over to him. So there is an element of CK2 in Medieval 2 as well. For example, the traits system, the stats, I guess you could say. Only good guilds is guilds of the House of Santiago. Oh yeah, I love those knights. I love the Holy Orders. They're all awesome. I guess like the Templars are kind of relatively generic, but they're all great. Because it's like you have the Templars and then everybody else is you know, like, how do they compare to them? Anyway, so King Alfonso, he's our faction leader. And you have several stats here. So you have command. Basically, command is something that gives buffs to your armies. Most importantly in morale. Because the higher their morale, the less likely they are to run. So this is a mechanic that's introduced with the concept being that, like, if you have taken the time to really develop a specific general whose command is very high, he can do good against armies that outnumber him because he'll make them run. Over here we have his chivalry rating. Now chivalry, it's kind of like you have to pick one or the other usually. I might sometime do like a theme campaign where I always go for chivalry or always go for dread. I've heard of people doing that before, but it was many years ago. But basically, the higher your chivalry rating is, the more it also boosts the morale of your troops. Like, if you have good command and good chivalry, your troops will just, like, never retreat. They'll fight to the last man. Now, it did just say that he got +1 dread. So when you get more dread, your chivalry goes down. And when you get chivalry, your dread goes down. But your dread, the higher that it is, the more it hurts the morale points of the enemy army. So, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, this is that freaking, like, let's say his dread was high. It's like, oh, this is that crazy, he's freaking crazy as hell. Like, he's gonna massacre us. He's gonna do awful things, like cut our heads off and play and make the rest of us play soccer with the heads. And whoever loses, we cut their heads off until there's only like one team left, and then he's gonna flay to death those ones. You know, he's like, and so they're scared and they want to run away. Then there's authority. So authority, this helps with putting down unrest in cities. Then there is piety, which I honestly forget what that does. I think the higher the piety, the more it helps with yeah, do it. Yeah, when the Mongols show up, 10 dread enemy makes your men run 10 seconds in the battle. Yeah, so the Mongols will eventually show up and they can be extremely difficult to deal with, but that's not going to happen for a while, so we're not going to really talk about it here. But then you have different traits. So, for example, whoever's your faction leader, this is the one who's the leader of the world. This man is the leader of one of the world's major powers and commands respect and obedience as a result. So he gets +1 command automatically, +2 authority automatically, +3 personal security, which improves the chances of detecting and foiling assassination attempts, because yes, you can do assassinations in here. It's not quite the plot to kill, but it is interesting. Piety protects you from inquisitors. Right. Thank you. So he's a promising commander. He's gotten a +1 command. He's eager, so he moves a little bit faster. He is smart, so he gets a +2% bonus on all trade and taxing income, which is good because he's the faction leader. He is severe, so it costs 100% more to bribe him, and we also get more tax income that way. He wants to win, first of all, so that's dread. He's fair and rule, which increases chivalry. So a fairly unimpressive ruler who's already 43, so not going to really do a whole lot, I think. Let's get retraining some of these units here real quick. Actually, no, let's do that. Let's build a port. And so, like, Prince Rodrigo, who I think is our heir. Look at the family tree. Yeah, Rodrigo is our heir. So this kid is the future. And he's already looking better than his dad because he's at 3 command. He's chivalry or loyalty and piety. Hasn't really gone either way just yet. He's cheap, which is good for tax income and getting discounts on construction costs in places where he is. But it does increase squalor. Hello there, Purple Phoenix. Let's also get repairing this, the castle walls. So, this Pamplona here is going to be very important for going into, France down the line. Yeah, send my merchant down to Timbuktu. Right, where is my merchant? I don't remember where I put him. Well, here's how we check. We do this. Faction leader.
Your Majesty, hello.
Where'd my merchant go? Oh, they might have already taken him out, actually. Alright, but let's look at some of the other things that happen. So my relations with the Papal States, which are, of course, over here, they've gotten worse because of the things I'm doing. Okay, trade increase, fair and rule. Here we go. Cardinal just died. Yeah, the Portuguese cardinal died because there is no more Portugal. And then finally, faction destroy. The long legacy of these people... Sorry, Porky. The long legacy of these people has at last come to an end by your hand. Celebrations held in honor of your glorious conquest of their dominion erupt throughout the realm, with everyone from prince to pauper toasting your righteous reign. Yeah, but now we're not going to get excommunicated, so there's nobody Catholic we're going to be fighting for a while, except for maybe France if they came south. We might attack Sicily, but... it's good stuff. Yeah, so let's talk about the faction comparison chart. Somebody brought it up. So you have these faction rankings that you can like custom do. So we're already on turn 7 of the game. If we looked at Portugal, so this is kind of overall ranking, but if we looked at, for example, our military ranking, so we started weaker than Portugal, and as you see, you know, we spent all that money on an army very quickly, and we got stronger than them, and we killed them. Production-wise, though, it's been very bad because we weren't building anything for a while because we didn't have money. Territorial ranking, you know, they just always had 2 until they died. But you could look at custom, there's different custom selections here. So for example, yeah, neighboring factions, you see financially we're just completely tanked compared to the Moors. They have bigger population. The overall ranking, they're getting stronger. They must have taken a rebel settlement. Our military ranking is about the same though. But in terms of production, they're way above me. And of course, these things are going to get bigger as time goes. So like if we look at all factions, for example, like financially, I think this is the Hungarians. Yeah, the Hungarians are doing good financially. So are the Milanese. Everybody else is kind of trending downward right now, except for I think the Scots. Or no, who's that blue? Or the Russians are kind of just hanging in there. Population, the Byzantines, of course, have an enormous population. This is a mythical Portugal of 1080 that didn't exist, so I don't care. Here you go. Let's see, crafted with love, and then the franchise got big enough that they stopped caring. Yeah, I got a lot of strong words about Total War and the direction it's gone over the years, especially in terms of the historical one. The last Total War thing that I bought was that Rome DLC. They did years and years after they had stopped supporting Rome. Rome 2, that is. But it was the one where they... where it was like the legendary times. I think the DLC was called Vi Victus, and it's about like when the Gauls sacked Rome the first time, not many years later. I picked it up because I was thinking, oh man, they're going back and supporting it, because I frankly think Rome 2 is like the worst shit they ever put out. And it was so bad. There were so many flaws with it. It was fucking ridiculous. There was things going wrong where I kind of thought, like, they deliberately put this fucked up shit in here, you know? Anyway, overall ranking. So as you can see, yeah, the Byzantines are very strong. We're in the year 1092, by the way. You can check the year here. Yeah, so the Byzantines are very strong. I think that's the Venetians. No, who's at the bottom? Yeah, Denmark's looking quite weak. We are... yeah, we're also kind of toward the bottom. If we looked at, say, the top 5 factions, I think it's showing where we compare to them. So the top 5 factions are the Byzantines, the Holy Roman Empire, the Venetians, the French, and the Moors, who are our neighbors. You know, tricky stuff. The Rise of the Republic, that was it, yeah. I like to send an army to Kaffa since nobody ever takes it. It's a nice spot for trade. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do now is we've taken care of Portugal. What we need to do now is, of course, we need to focus on the Moors and just generally unifying the peninsula. So I think there's 4 regions we haven't taken yet. Essentially, there's Barcelona, Valencia, Cordoba, and Granada. I remember not hating Rome 2, but only because he played it years and dozens of patches after the release to really kick that one out of the door early. Oh, yeah. Good quote from Dice on the topic about the new Battlefield. It's not about the release product, it's about the finished product. Oh, yeah, that's a terrible way of thinking. It's like, look, let's get our money first, and then we'll make the game. Try to bribe El Cid to get him in your team. That would be badass. Shoot, I need to build a diplomat for that, though.
Yes.
That would be pretty sweet, though, if we could get him. Costs 250 florins, though, to get him. Maybe I could just destroy something.
Yes. Am I after
No unmarried. Yeah.
representing our people?
Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, El Cid is prohibitively expensive to get, but he's like a 7-star general or something. So here's what we're going to do in Lisbon, even though I'm kind of short on money right now. We're actually going to go to a low tax rate, and the reason why is sort of supply side income kind of works in Total War games. It's not as strong here as is in Rome, but as you can see, the lower your tax rate, you're basically encouraging the population to have kids. I guess they can afford to have kids or whatever. So like if I have very high tax rate, we'd be having a population growth of 1.5%. So let me whip out the calendar right here. Just gonna, just Conquering History Games, whipping it out. There is 360. There's 360. 3,360 people living in this community. So if we had a very high tax rate, the income would be 1,636, and but next turn we would get 50 more people, which would take us to 3,000. Okay, wait, 3,060 plus 50, so we'd be at 3,410. But let's say we went down to the low taxes. Now we're getting a population growth of 3%. So that 3,060, hold on, calculations right here, it doubles that very quickly. So to 100, we're going to get 100 and a little bit of change more people. So then we're getting 3,600. Why am I doing the math for 100? We'll have 3,460. And of course it's going to keep growing and growing and growing because that 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%. So we want to do this sooner rather than later so we could get to that 6,000 population. And there's other ways that you could also adjust population, not as strongly as you could in Rome, but it's there. So yeah, we want to get this booted up sooner rather than later, because the long-term goal, if this turns out to be a long campaign, is we want this to be a very large city so that we can construct the ships that will be necessary to go to the new world. Mercenaries could be swapped out for spearmen. I actually think there's not a huge difference in their upkeep once you actually hire them. So the spear militia are 125 upkeep. Oh, these are 185 upkeep. But I think it's going to still be worth keeping them around. So I'm just going to merge them. Hold on, what's the button to merge? I think I already did it. Oh, they didn't really lose anybody. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to leave just this little town militia behind. And we're now going to go after the Moors very quick. Again, like I said, I want to secure the peninsula ASAP. And we're going to take the capital, and we're going to probably just sack the shit out of it. I wouldn't want to exterminate it. I want to exterminate anything in the home base. If we end up, once we go down into Africa, I'll probably get exterminating, but not right now. Alright, and then also, we're going to take all these. There we go, except for the spear militia. And let's lay Zaragoza under siege. This one I'm probably just going to starve them out. I'm not in a serious rush with that. And, yeah, I want to kind of lower the tax rate here too. Let's take a look at my potential income. Yeah, we're still going to be running a profit. And as somebody mentioned earlier, I'm probably going to convert some of these castles, like Toledo. We're going to keep as a castle right now, but I could convert it to a town for the cost of 1,600 florins. I'll probably do that later. because I'll only want a couple of castles up here on the border with France to make the good units. Let me show you what I'm talking about in the building browser. So like, once we build a castle, we're gonna have access to stuff like Almugavars. Oh, actually, those aren't that great. Wait, why can't I get the fucking? Why can't I get feudal knights? Oh yeah, it's because I think that now I'm remembering. There's different eras of the game. God, it has been a while since I played this. There's different eras of the game where you're gonna start being able to get access to different units. It's like basically there's the early, mid, and late. But eventually, once I get to mid, I'll be able to make like feudal knights, which are just like the bread and butter unit of your armies. They have very good, they're not prohibitively expensive. They've got good armor. If you can maintain a good core infantry force of them, you're going to do very well. They're good defensively and offensively in sieges, things like that. Anyway, let's carry on. We'll carry on and take Spain. What's going on? Oh yeah, and then every end of turn report. So this is just saying this was my income, this is how much profit I made, this is the total at the end of the day, and my expenditures and stuff. How many regions I captured, things like that. And like where's my rating? If the rating is green, that means that you are going up. So it's good. And then the percentage says what percentage you are relative to whoever is on top. So right now we are in 16th place financially, which is still not last, but we've only got 4% of the money of Hungary apparently. So, population, we only got 43% of the Byzantines, 44% overall, as strong as the Byzantines. Alright, the repairs to the Pamplona castle are complete, so that's going to be good in case the French get frisky and try to come south. We've recruited our Gentes and mailed knights. We can just click this and it'll take us to where they are. Things like that. Very, very good. Speaking of the French, it looks like they're already south of the Pyrenees. What the fuck is this? Captain Andre. Fucking dare them to attack me. I will fuck their shit up. Because I think I have a few mailed knights in this army, right? Yeah, I've got 2 units of mailed knights, and then faction leaders and faction heirs get decent units. I will destroy those peasant archers. Then I can take my sweet time with the others. So if we get over here to Valencia, we're kind of peeking over. Yes, here is El Cid, the chivalrous. So he's 43, he's a 5-star general, good chivalry. Can't quite see everything about him, but he's also got these chevrons. The chevrons are experience bonuses that like your units, like as they see battle. Although there's ways to artificially get some of these early on, but as they see more battle, they become stronger units, basically. We've also got a Moorish army running around, so we probably should build something to get ready to deal with that up here in Toledo. Though I also want to build a diplomat so we can go for the El Cid bribe. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't want to disappoint you guys. I know it would be fun. You know what? I think we're just going to take a look at my army here. Ah! Dang it. So I'm thinking about if I should just assault with these units now and kill them, and I don't know. Here, let's just do a little auto attack because like I want the first battle we do to be something, fun. Oh god, I lost a lot of units there. Not good. Okay, let's look at our potential income. Totals are looking good. Noble and rule. Okay. Alright, so Cordoba is like relatively still unguarded. Let's see what exactly it is we can do here. All the Moors want to talk to me. Oh, they're Tam. Good to see you. I guess they're not doing anything. Construction report. Our port is done, which is very good. One of them. Forts are, well, you know, it's not as much money as you can make with, like, having fun with merchants, but I usually don't like to mess with merchants. They're just too quirky and weird. Okay, so the French are leaving now. Good. We can upgrade Zaragoza into a town, but I think what we're going to want to do instead is just convert it to a castle now. Because yeah, this is what's going to be facing into France. Though I probably could also have done something where I upgraded it, its you know, infrastructure as a city, and then later converted it to a bigger castle. But screw it. I don't give a fuck. Be born again. Ah, that's not true. Let's upgrade the wooden wall. Okay. The Moorish army that was around here seems to have gone away. This is why the merchant class tended to get murdered in mass. There you go. Okay, so we're probably going to wait 2 turns before we actually assault Cordoba. So I could build up the stuff. Whoa! Enormous freaking rebel army here. I think this is the one that was running around here. These are Iberian rebels. So I think this must have been their army and it went rogue. This can sometimes happen to an army if you send it out without a general. And so it is now sitting on this road, fucking up my shit in terms of like trade routes and stuff. Not Gouda. Not Gouda at all. Send out merchants to Deep Africa and forget about them. Yeah, we're going to try to get down to Deep Africa and get that money. So we're now at war with the Moors. Now, somebody earlier was talking about crusades. There is a crusade mechanic in this game. You can have crusades every few years. It's really, really fun. But it's just going to take a little while. And I think when the time comes for us to crusade, I'm probably instead gonna, you know, use it to come out here into the Middle East. That's one big brigand army. Yeah, that army is gonna be a serious problem later. We're gonna have to figure something out. Now, I wanted to, do I want to go ahead and convert this to a large town now or later? Tell you what, let's, it's gonna take 2 turns to convert to the large town. Let's crank out these mailed knights while we still can. Oh. Shit. Damn, it's expensive. Yeah, okay, you know what? I guess there's not gonna be any, converting until, we, have united the peninsula. How about that?
Orders. Your orders, noble one.
Let's kind of come down here. I know the diplomats heading this way, but we want to be ready for if and when
Yes.
we end up needing to attack El Cid. It's probably from a low attack rate. And about the third age mod for this game. Oh yeah, and divide and conquer, which is freaking amazing. Get one more town militia in there. Okay, we're moving along now. Okay, it looks like the Moors are gonna maybe try to relieve the siege here. So what I think we might do is maintain the siege one more time, because I think I might actually want a fight in the open field, because it could be fun for you guys to see how that works. Alright, end of turn report. Profits are down a little bit. Recruited some other stuff. The French and the Moors have entered into an alliance. My god, these sick people. These sick, sick people.
Yes. On my way.
Where to, sire?
Granada, this is this their capital? No, Cordoba was their capital, yeah. They got another family member down there. Divide and conquer is the only way to mod Medieval 2. Yeah, it's amazing. It's stunning, that game. Let's kind of just get some units being made up here. So, Spain kind of has a lot of spear throwing units this early in the game. Of course, later we're going to change over to crossbows, but the javelin men have their purpose. Make no mistake. Okay, yeah, so we're not doing great with money. I think they're going to try to relieve the siege here. They're going to try to do, like, Minas Tirith under siege, and then this is Rohan. Look at all this cavalry they've got. But it's desert cavalry, so it's not going to be good for too much out here. But having said that, we're going to try to see how much it's going to cost us to bribe him. So if we did it, we'll get the city, we'll get El Cid, we'll get 7 units, and 1 will disband. So if we make the offer, I will deny you. Why should I not be offended that you would consider my loyalty something for sale? Well, it might be that I just don't have the money he wants. And yeah, because I tried to bribe the wondrous El Cid, my reputation has gone down now.
We will listen, but
Oh.
I cannot say
Oh, apparently I can't do anything. Okay. Leave it to France to turn the war into a menage a trois. What faction in DAC? Oh, there are so many amazing ones. I really couldn't pick.
Yes.
Let's come like right here.
Noble one. Of course, my lord. Yes. Move out.
So yeah, we're getting a kind of sizable force here with King Alfonso. Of course, these are very mishmash. A lot of the units that were these unit compositions. Of course, later I'll want to have like a good infantry corps, a couple strong cavalry, a little bit of archers. You know, you want combined arms, right? That's the key to it all. Let's see. Are they going to try to make a move on me now? Are they going to offer me a peace deal? Uh-oh. Uh-oh!
Leave me be.
Okay, they don't have an army. So, let me try this here. El Cid bribing attempts.
noble lord, we
Okay,
suspect
bribe, make the offer. Yeah, I just don't think he'll do it. I'm not sure it's actually possible. So let's just go ahead and lay siege to the place.
Without question, we shall begin the siege. Besieging forces reporting, my lord.
So what we're going to do now is, I'm actually just waiting for this captain to attack me because I think it would be fun to do that sort of a battle. But
Infidel.
he will not bust a move. Come on, bust a move! Oh, they've blockaded my port. That's not going to be good for my economy. War were declared between Hungary and the Byzantines. Dang, I didn't realize how long I'd already been streaming. What time is it? Because I got a thing I got to go do later. Alright, we're going to do a battle before I leave. Let me put it that way. I'm not going to end the stream until I do a battle, which will probably be right here. So, let's just wait. France wants to say some shit. What? What? They're offering map information in exchange for tribute. No, how about I give you map information and you give me money?
Very well.
There we go. That's the art of the deal for you. Elves have quirky gameplay. Elves also have just insane health and armor, some of them. It's really freaking ridiculous. But it's cool, though.
Your orders, noble one.
Damn it, I'm wanting them to attack this army that's besieging their freaking capital because I think it would be a very fun fight. Okay, I think it's about to happen now. But I want the record to show I could have easily taken Cordoba at any point, but I am not doing it so that they'll attack me. So what's going to happen, as you can see here, there's only one turn of surrender left until they surrender automatically because they'll have been starved out. But you'll also notice the banner. So the darker section of their banner, the higher it is, that's showing the stronger their army is, and it has been going down because the troops have been slowly starving. Another great detail in there.
Your will.
Man, we're not going to have much cavalry. I could just really, really go in on these mercenaries. The mercenary crossbowmen are so freaking good. I could just get 2 spearmen instead. That might be better, because I think there's a fair amount of cavalry in this army, yeah. Let's see. Thousands of years of training out the window when the cannonball smashes through your mythical armor. Well, like he was talking about Rivendell bodyguards, yeah, or the Lothlorien ones. Some of these things, I think these elves probably could take at least 1 cannon. They're gonna go, oh, Oh, that would hurt. You know what it is? It's like a time to talk about Japanese wrestling, time to talk about shit nobody's gonna understand. It's gonna be like that infamous Okada Shibata match where he hits Shibata with the Rainmaker, and Shibata, he doesn't no-sell it. I hate when people say he no-sold it. No, he just like, he gets this look of like it's like he's just been hit by a fucking train, but he's powering through it and staying on his feet. It was awesome. And it just, I'm still up, bitch. And so yeah, that's what has to that's what it's like when the first cannonball is made. That's what's gonna happen to one of those elves in their armor. But yeah, they're ridiculous. I think I remember I once was trying to take Lothlorien as Isengard, and I had like them surrounded, and I was like loosing every arrow I had, and my units were getting exhausted, dying. They were just swarming them, and they're just slowly but surely mowing down the Uruk-hai, and my own units were getting tired. As they queued up to get killed, to get one hit in, to slowly chip away at their defense. Anyway, it's a blast though. All right, but I think the fight's about to happen right now. Let's try to also sneak in here for fun. Nope, my spy just got killed. Spy killed during mission. I tried to sneak into the city. No, they don't show the video. It's only the assassins that get the fun videos. Moors, what are you doing? They might try to go. I'm not going to negotiate with them now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So we are playing the part of Mordor attacking Minas Tirith in the Muslims' eyes. About even amounts of men. Yeah, like these units have been starving. And this is I think their faction leader. No, he's just a family member, but he's not great. Elrond can take a whole troll stack. Tried that and still died in Moria. Yeah, so this army, because they're about to starve, this skull with the sword over it, as it says right here when you hover, I'm trying to show it. But it's saying this army cannot flee from the battle. If it loses, all units will be destroyed. So we don't actually have to destroy them all, kill them all. This is the main problem. So they've got a decent amount of cavalry, but they don't have a general leading them, so their morale is not going to be that great. They've got Arab cavalry. They can form a wedge. They've got desert cavalry, which are effective against armor, so I need to make sure to not actually directly confront them with my mailed knights if I can avoid that. I also really like these descriptors they have here. So, for example, the desert cavalry are a mixture of Moors and Arabs living in the arid and desert regions of North Africa and the Middle East. The heat of the desert makes armor unpopular with these men, but their loose-fitting robes give them protection both from the sun and spent missiles or light blows. Armed with javelins, these fast-moving units are best against other light troops or harassing enemy flanks where they can stay out of harm's way. Unfortunately, I do not have any Jinates, which are my spear-throwing cavalry, which is kind of like the early game signature unit. I don't have any with this one, but let's see if Vasco, our mercenary captain who's not in the family, can do well. Because actually, if you do well, I think you can just get adopted into the family, which is pretty cool. No, I'm thinking of the captain thing. Anyway, let's go. Balance of power, army strength ratio of 10 to 9. Let's take a look at the terrain before I figure out exactly what my game plan is here. That's what guns are for in Warhammer anyway. Yeah, there you go. Oh, speech time! We love it! We love the speeches, folks. It's probably not going to be very colorful. Like as the game goes on and your generals get more experience and stuff, the speeches start to get really fun.
I have brought you here to fight. I brought you here because you are hard-faced, brave soldiers and put fear into any enemy. I promise nothing save a hard struggle. Would you have me tell you anything else? I will not lie. No, not even if victory depended on that lie. If our Moorish foes had any sense, they would flee back to the scorpions and snakes that father them. For shame, they would not face goat herds.
Not a great shot. There we go.
With God's good graces, we shall strike down a quarter of our enemy's army today. Courage will be our watchword. Despair, theirs. And now all is said. So let's do it pell-mell and send our enemies to fry in hell!
Yeah, I like when they drop little sort of hints in the battle where they're saying, you know, destroy a quarter of the enemy's army. That's, of course, referring to the quarter of the enemy's army that'll be destroyed if we win the battle no matter what. Okay. Oh, we're kind of positioned on a hill. Okay. So this is what I was talking about when I was saying I wanted to wait until till we were actually on the battlefield to figure out my plan. So I was thinking that we could maybe charge the quarter army and kill their family member and then let the others approach us. But if we're on this hill here, and this is not desert terrain either, so that's good. I think we're just going to have a good old-fashioned hill defense and make the cavalry come up the hill to us. So we do have our mailed knights here. And of course things are going to be geographically correct. So we're getting attacked by, I think, the outside force. Yeah, of course. We're not at the castle. So they're geographically going to be coming from the south there, which means the reinforcements are going to come from this direction, the east. So let's have our mailed knights kind of facing that way. But oh yeah, you know what? We need to fucking group all this up here real quick. Hold on. There we go. Much cleaner. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, I think just yeah, this is basically gonna be we're foreshadowing Napoleon against the Mamluks in the shadows of the pyramid. That's what's going on here. That spear militia there. There's 1, 2. Yeah, gosh, we really don't have a whole lot. So yeah, the key here is keep the crossbowmen firing, and you know, usually you want them out front, but we've got this beautiful slope here, which is going to give them a terrific angle to shoot at. Of course, the arrows aren't going to do us, the trees aren't going to help us a whole lot, but the peasant archers are also going to have their flaming arrows, which is going to hurt enemy morale. So I think the key here will be hopefully that the enemy infantry and especially the cavalry are going to smash against my spearmen, and then my archers will wear them down with time, and they'll break from the flaming arrows, and then my limited cavalry will go at them and destroy them. Will, you know, mop them up.
The enemy have brought up more men.
Yeah, see.
They hope to make up in numbers what they lack in bravery.
Okay, so yeah, they're gonna also have to come at me. Let them get tired. I don't care. Yeah, as you see, the star is over here because I think he's supposed to be the general of the overall battle right here. Traits affect speeches. Let's start killing all speeches then. Oh yeah. Yeah, so the Muslim general bodyguards are really good. I think they might be actually the best cavalry at the start of the game because they're just so well armored. Comparatively, you know, my guy here is not going to be doing that great. But as you can see, let's slow it down. As you can see, my peasant archers have already begun the good work of shooting. So we're shooting fire ammo, which I probably should wait on. Here come the desert cav. Let them come in. Let them get. Yep, they got too close. They got too close. Oh, nope. Stop it. Stop. I forgot desert cav can freaking shoot arrows. Okay, Arab cav coming in. All right, don't let them get through. Some of them broke through. My spearmen will, of course, make short work of them. They're doing Canterbury circles here. I think what we're going to do is let's already start sending our mailed knights around. A lot of those units are still eager, though, so stop it, stop it, stop it. No, no, no. Wheel out, wheel out, wheel out, wheel out. Oh, jeez. We're charging them into our own town militia. Break it up, bring it back. Okay, so we've already killed 13% of the enemy, but we've lost 8% of our own men because they have their desert archers back there. We need to try to sneak around and take them out. Could very well be easier said than done. But yeah, victory. Yeah, if we can pause it here. So as we see here, we're already very much engaged. Here we go. This kind of gives you a better section, look at the battle. So we're very much engaged here, but we're in a very good position. You know, victory is almost certainty for our own spear militias here. You know, it's not, again, you know, a little bit of a steeper slope would be nice, but we're working with what we got. I think most of the casualties we've taken so far have been from these desert archers, which can be really, really bothersome. So what my game plan is right now is I'm trying to take my mailed knights here and bring them around, because they will destroy the desert archers, because the critical weakness of them, they shoot very fast and they shoot quite a lot, is that they've got basically no armor. Oh, the Moorish spear militia came through. Okay, dang it, they're breaking through right here. They're right into the center of my line. I don't want to get my king's bodyguard involved. Yeah. Alright, we've got routing spear militia here. So let's get some free kills. And the Moorish desert archers are also retreating. Okay, yeah, as you can see, their casualties are growing very, very fast. They're up to 30%. Yeah, they're routing all over the place very fast. Okay. They've got some Arab cavalry coming in here. I'm going to try to get some of my peasant archers to load up on them.
The enemy are badly blooded.
Yeah, this is terrific. So of course the key here, we want to stay in our position as much as we can. Yeah, their desert archers are still shooting. Yeah, we have lost 20% of our men, make no mistake. And I'm sure quite a lot of that is these damn desert archers. Okay.
The enemy glorious.
Yes!
Our men have captured the enemy general. Guard him well. Give the dog some wine, and be sure he can defeat the rest of his army.
Okay, so we got a lot of wavering and routing men. Okay, basically this entire initial army is like just routing all over the goddamn place. So we want to try to take out as much as we can while we can. But let's make sure we're calling down the thunder. Okay, see a lot of my troops here are now shooting at units that are already defeated. So I want my mercenary crossbowmen to start focusing fire on the enemy general's bodyguard. Much as we can, anyway. 58% killed. Oh, some of these desert archers over here are coming back. Extremely foolish. Here we go. Lot of fire arrows going in. That's gonna hurt their morale. They're shaken. They haven't even reached my units yet. They're too broken up. How are my mailed knights doing? They're still just warmed up. That's what's great about the mailed knights, is they have great endurance. Isn't unit responsiveness dependent on unit experience? I think there is an element of it. Whoa, my mercenary spearmen are way, way out of position. Here we go. This is the enemy general's bodyguard, so we got him knocked down to 23 men only, because that's all the crossbows doing their work. Got him. Okay, so this is essentially just a mopping up operation now. I know there's some desert archers out there, but we're just trying to kill as many of these various people that we can. And I think it's time to send in not the king, Vaso himself in there to take out these desert archers. Actually, no. The spear militia are still coming up. Never mind. What the heck? So these desert archers get over here. Alright. Take them out. %76% of the enemies down. Now, I think it's if you take out 80% of an enemy army or more, it'll just dissolve afterward.
Our enemy has lost his stomach to fight. We must push our advantage.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think most of them, that first army has run away. So I don't know what percentage of their army we're gonna have destroyed yet.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Alright, let's try to catch these guys. Alright, we can increase the speed now, I think. Yeah, woo, really pouring it into them. There they go, they're routing. So we could continue the battle, which I am going to do for the sake of getting experience for my units and stuff. Yeah, as you can see, my mailed knights have got 2 chevrons now. They're doing pretty good. Oh yeah, the alt button. You're completely correct. Yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, so cavalry, at least the cavalry that I'm using, they could use lances or they could use swords. So I just I hit the alt tab so it switches to their swords instead of them using the lances. See, so it's at 88% total casualties, but I think that might be mostly I don't know how much, and I'm saying not mostly. A lot of that is from the first army, so I don't know how much of or excuse. Blah, blah. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know if we killed 80% of the army that initially attacked us, the one that didn't have a general, but if we did, it should just dissolve, and then we don't have to worry about it later. Very nice! My crossbowmen actually got some chevrons. That's cool. Yeah, these crossbowmen are so good. The desert archers are definitely focusing on them, and for good reason. What are they shooting at this distance? Holy shit, I think they're trying to kill this guy. That unit there, or no, what are they shooting at? I don't know. But I think that's enough. We're done here, so exit the battle.
This is a clear victory.
So, yeah, we
We
lost 310 men. We have exactly 1,000 remaining. And you could look at like battle stats here. So, for example, the army that was in the city, only 9 of them came back. So, if you look at casualties inflicted, yeah, as you can see, mercenary crossbowmen, 134. Other mercenary crossbowmen, 126. Peasant archers were 117. That 117 was them only taking 4 casualties, while the mercenary crossbowmen took 30 and 34 respectively. So, pretty sure the desert archers were trying to, you know, lock in on them. But the mailed knights only inflicted 66 casualties. But look how many prisoners they caught, 278. And so now we're gonna see, after battles, you get a question of what to do with your prisoners. So this is a pretty similar concept. You could ransom them for money. Oh yeah, and they'll talk too. Like listen to what the NPC says.
Yes, Sadiq, you can profit from this.
Yes, so you can profit from these, and it shows the ransom value. If you're ever able to capture a general, or even better yet, a member of the royal family, you could make some serious freaking money. Having said that, if the AI can't afford it, you can't ransom them. So I think sometimes like the ransom button is just grayed out. You could release them, which is good for chivalry. So like, let's listen.
Yes, both noble and wise.
Noble and wise, huh? Do I want to execute?
No, don't be so hasty, Sadiq.
Don't be so hasty, Sadiq. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna inject a little democracy into this. What to do with? I'm gonna put a poll. Do with, oops, the prisoners. Got ransom. Release. Capturing the Pope is the best. Well, you know, we shouldn't be going to war with the Pope. We're Catholic, but yeah. A ransom, release, or execute. Oops. On execute. You can't. Killing is kawaii because you can't spell execute without cute. All right, so the poll should be going up in a minute here. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay, so I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to work on that, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go get some water, and we'll listen to some Cantigas de Santa Maria, which is a terrific series of songs that was written in the 13th century. This is A Madre de Jesus Cristo. These lyrics are in Galician, by the way. Ooh, it looks to be a tight race in this poll. Some of you haven't voted. It's in the chat. If you're watching, you can vote in the chat. I'm not. Well, do you have to be logged in? I'm not sure actually. But yeah, I'll let that play for a bit while I go get some water. Holy crap, it's exactly tied, people. Oh wait, no, somebody's winning now. Okay, well, any one vote could tip the balance. Let's give it another minute, I guess. And then I'll ransom. And then I'm probably going to end the stream, or so, you know, we might just kind of mop some things up a little bit. We'll do a little bit of cleaning up, but I think this is a good first stream. Partying like it's $12.99, yeah. Dab! Dab! No. I am so sorry, I really am. Okay, alright, we got another vote in. I think that's basically everybody. So it looks like the winner with 45% of the vote is we are going to ransom them. Now here's the thing, if you ransom them and they don't get paid, it doesn't get paid, they're automatically executed. See, ransom has been rejected. Our enemy claims they cannot afford the ransom, and as a result, the prisoners that you have captured have been executed! Okay, I think that's enough of this song. Well, it's almost over, actually. Let it go. Oh, it just stopped. What the hell? There we go. Very nice. Okay, so we're just gonna sack, I think, this settlement. Woo, we're gonna get some money from that. We're over 10,000 florins now. We now have a suitable prince here. This man would appear to be an eligible suitor for your unspoken for princess, because I do have 2 out there. Seeing his merits now, and bearing in mind this would mean the princess will cease to play an active role in representing our people any further, would you grant him her hand in marriage, and in place a ruling family to go along with it? So I think I've only got 1 other family member right now, which means that my dynasty is on shaky ground at the moment. But I also don't want to bring bums in. This guy's 53, he's kind of already up there in years. He's got a lot of loyalty, which is good, but he's only got 2-star command. I think we could do better. And so we are going to... Oh, he's got Marks of War. Oh, Marks of War is very good. So this is a trait which increases your the +2 to the general's hit point. So whenever I have a general that has Marks of War, I feel much more comfortable actually sending him in. He's also sexually liberated, which should do something where he's more likely to have kids, if you asked me, but whatever. Not everything could be CK2. Okay, we can build ourselves a Thieves Guild. No! So, alright, already we're looking at a much better place. We're actually number 2 in terms of population in the world. Of course, Cordoba is a very, very important city. Our military is strong. Financially, we're in a better place. Yeah, we're actually 13,000 now. We're the largest faction in the world, actually, already. The boundaries of your realms have truly expanded far enough now to encompass a seemingly endless area of land. You now rule the largest area of the civilized world of any major power. Be mindful that because your borders are trackless, it is becoming more difficult to defend them as your dominion expands. So that tells me that the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire have been running into some problems, but that's their problems, not me. One of the fights in the mod game. I've gotten too used to watching your Hearts of Iron 4 streams. No, I totally get it. Freaking heck, you know, No Step Back is gonna release next month, and if I don't get a free copy from them to review, I probably won't even get it anytime soon. Like, I just don't play vanilla Hearts of Iron 4 anymore. I haven't played it since, Oi, what's this marriage celebration? I said no, I didn't want him to marry. What the fuck? Did I say yes? Did I click the wrong thing? Oh god, he's in the family now. At least he's loyal beyond question. Thoughts of betrayal do not enter this man's mind. It is not something he is capable of. Fuck me. What? Okay, you know what? It's fine. Yeah, a little animation. Oh, yay! Isn't that sweet? Oh. Let's enjoy the meat thing. Hey, quit mocking me and enjoy the royal wedding. It's very funny. It's like the king accidentally approved all the expenses and all this. So whoops. Well, isn't that nice? My lord, your daughter is wed. What? Oh man, speaking of, I saw this weird fucking thing. It was like a month ago. It was a picture of that one. It was from, you know how there's like a billion shitty isekais out there? It's the one who where like the guy, it's an isekai, the guy goes into the fantasy world, but for some reason his mom, it's like a video game fantasy world, but his mom gets pulled in too. Let me look it up. Isekai mom. I'm just gonna put up mom isekai and I'm sure it'll pop up. Yeah. The Wikipedia article was the second result. It's called "Do You Love Your Mom?" and Her Two-Hit Multi-Target Attacks, which is just classic shitty isekai title, long novel thing. Anyway, so it's that. It was a picture of that character, and it was this thing. I guess is like a copy pasta. I watched the first episode of this and I went, "Oh, this ain't it. This is not it, even a little bit." But it was a picture of her, and I guess it was this copy pasta where she's just going, think about it, and it probably was just somebody joking. I'm sure that's not what actually happened in the isekai, but who the fuck knows with that genre. But she's like, just think about it. It's so fucking stupid to not marry your own son. And it's just this whole thing. It's like, think about it. You're raising him. You're taking care of him. You're trying to teach him to be a good man. And why? So some young slut gets to enjoy him? No, that's stupid. It was just... It's like, you gotta marry your own son. You put in the time. I was, Jesus Christ, I'm in the wrong part of the internet again. Freaking hell.
My sultan wishes you dead.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this here. So I guess I think that's a pretty good spot, me talking about the weird shit on the internet. Speaking of medieval Europe, I'm going to be a plague doctor. Are you going to be a plague doctor for Halloween, Kipsu? I haven't made any Halloween plans if you're going to be working all the time. My lord, you need to play the husband of dowry of 10 million florins and 3 castles. The Japanese are a strange people. Yeah. There's a good part of the internet. Sure, hanging out with y'all. That's a good part. But we're going to end it there. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Next time I won't have like the mystery thumbnail. I'll probably make a proper thumbnail at some point. But yeah, we're going to do this for a bit. We'll try to at least do a short series, a short campaign where we got to take the 15 regions. But maybe we'll turn it into a long one if people end up really liking it. Remember, both my channel's birthdays is going to be on October 25th. That's when I originally made them both. I know I had to remake them, so the dates are actually different. But I want to do something for it. I'll probably do a stream on the 24th and try to have some pre-recorded stuff up on the 25th on each of those channels to celebrate. I'm still not entirely sure what, though, which is a problem because I'm going to be working a lot, so I need to figure that out tonight. And I might try to stream like over the weekend. I usually don't stream on the weekends, but I'm going to try to because I'm not going to stream on Monday and Tuesday, I think. I might do like a premiere, but I'm not going to stream. But yeah, hopefully everybody likes this, and we'll see it. I'm Conquering History Games. Thank you very much for joining me, and you all have yourselves a pleasant rest of your day. Good night.